Hey there guys, today's video is going to be part 2 of school fire alarm system replacement. If you haven't seen the first video yet, I'd encourage you to watch that before checking out this video. Though, if you have seen it or you're just here for this one, today's video is going to be part 2 of the project. Where we left off from the last video is where we will be beginning in this video. If you are new here and you don't know what's going on though, is what we're doing is we're doing a complete fire alarm system swap over replacement at this elementary school. This school had an Edwards 6500 conventional fire alarm system that had a permanent ground fault on it that started a few months back. It was an internal ground fault, so the panel had to be replaced. We're going to be doing a complete addressable swap, installing a Notifier addressable fire alarm system in this building. We will be converting pretty much most of the building to addressable, just leaving a few things conventional. What we're leaving conventional is some of the crawl space zones as well as these 4 portables, though I still have some work to do in these portables in today's video where I will be installing a NAC booster panel, and doing some work in these portables will be a big part of this video. Please remember that this installation and the installation methods used in this video are not my decision, and it's not my choice how things do get installed, but I'm just simply here working, carrying out that work. But anyways guys, let's jump into the video. Alrighty guys, it is day 2 of fire alarm system replacement at this elementary school. So we're going to start where we left off in the first video. So this detector here at the top of the stairwell, this is another thing that we have to change to a smoke, like how we changed the corridors in last video to smoke. Same with this. This here is the space underneath the gym where we've got, I think, 12 heat detectors that need to be changed. We're underneath the gym. So if you haven't seen the first video, I've started changing out all of our bells to new horns, putting in pull stations everywhere, putting in smoke detectors in the corridors, changing the heats in the corridors to smokes. Same with stairwells we have to do, that's what I'm doing right now. Heat detectors were done by a different guy who was going around doing all the heat. So one guy was labeling them all where they need to go, and I think he might have been setting the address. So like, this is the one for this room here. Same with this one's left there, bathroom one left there. You get the idea of that. So he would put the room number on them, drop them off in that room, and set the address. You see that one's address 39. It's nice because now the SLC is actually on. So I'll be able to meter voltage so we can check polarity. Okay, that's the right way. This one needs to be 113. I've got one to go up in another stairwell. We are adding a smoke in this little stairwell because it is closed off top and bottom. Now, if you notice I'm checking polarity and it's like, well, it's red. It's of course, obviously it's positive. Not always. The school's so screwed up. If you saw my last video from this one, you'd understand why I'm checking. Notifier, I see, has updated their dust cover design. They're newer. They hold on there way better, which actually might be a pain. Because lots of times guys, like when they're doing initial verification, they'll leave the dust cover on and just pop it off with their solo tester. We have above ceiling heat detectors in here too. You can see there is one down there. That's a little too tight for what I want to be crawling around in. We want to potentially make another access hole, but we have to look at where there's asbestos. One or two that are you can access now. I mean, you crawl in and you switch it out. It's one thing. Now then you got to crawl back in again to verify. Like Gary said, oh yeah. So you can check into. I'm going to do this fixed temperature heat detector that is up in this boiler room here. This is my fixed temp heat detector for boiler room. I was just saying in the video there, because this is wired in pyro insulated, you have to be careful that the powder, because it's powder insulation, when you're bending it in the box, that you don't short it to ground, and then you obviously have a ground fault, so you gotta be careful.
Yeah, so maybe go with those instead. Up to my recommendation.
Well, since Chuck Mayer...
We call this custom dentist. Because you know I talked...
It's a paper coveralls.
We also have this crawl space under the gym. It's on a different side of the school than that tall space I showed under the school is actually under there where there's the proper stairwell. This is a whole different. So the plan here is this whole zone of these ones where it's sort of the storage space where it's still like tall enough to stand up, and that space is on with the zone underneath of the gym where there's that big storage space. So since it's still like actually used for storage and like we got phone equipment and stuff down here, we're gonna make this addressable, but then on that side of the building is an actual crawl space where it's a true crawl space, and that we're leaving conventional. So this area of the school will be changed to addressable. I'm going to start working on these gym heat detectors, getting these all changed out. Just wired this up here. This ladder's a piece of crap. It's the wiggliest ladder ever. I hate this thing. We have the program partially made. It's partially in the system. Yeah, so the SLC is now on. We gave him the list of devices we have up so far, and it's programmed in. However, we are missing these two pull stations, which is probably because I have this open here. So I'm just gonna put this base on here and get that done, and yeah. all hooked up now. Don't know if these detectors are programmed in yet. I don't think they are. My gym pull stations though are now talking. That one is too. Going to change this bell in the basement. All of these heat detectors have to be changed down here. Going to change that pull station over there. Going to change these. I might not be getting much video in this one. Okay, that is installed. I need to set the address on it though. This will be address number 11. It may turn green once I set it to 11 because, yeah, there we go. How many end of lines did you find?
Found all the zones up here.
You found all the upstairs zones.
Took the zones off, did the bell. Going for your polarity,
Right.
put back what you see.
Going to be installing another fixed temp in this boiler room here. Most of the classrooms are now done too. They've got all their heat detectors up. This clip that I've just started here that I am filming right now is the next day. I didn't get a ton done yesterday as far as videos. A lot of it was trying to find end-of-line devices with my coworkers, and I put up the gym detectors because I didn't like that ladder. I didn't feel safe on that old 14-foot wooden rickety as crap. I said I'm not doing it. You can get me a lift or a better ladder. So I stopped that, and we're getting something today, so I'll finish that today. Finish those gym detectors, just wasn't worth it on that ladder. And then the basement, under the gym, there's like 12 heat detectors to go up downstairs, so I gotta finish the gym detectors today, and below the gym detectors today. And hopefully my coworker finds the end of line plates. We gotta go up in the ceiling, put some heats up there. The technician isn't here today, so I might actually get something done because I won't be talking to him all day. He's coming back Tuesday, and then next Wednesday, he's on another job, and Monday's a holiday. And the verification is going to be an all day job, so we literally have to get this done today. Every device has to be in place. Whether the program's in the panel yet or not, that doesn't matter. Every device has to physically be there, ready for the program to get dumped into it and be trouble-free once that program gets dumped into it. So gym detectors, below gym detectors, all have to get changed. Any end-of-line plates on existing zones, which is now the SLC, those have to get removed. Bell end of lines have to get changed. And then there's what I'm doing today, because that's all second priority for me. These portables haven't been touched at all, so I have to rip out the IO64, put in this booster panel, which is pretty simple, because right now we have a 5 conductor coming from the school and a 2 conductor 12 gauge. The 2 conductor 12 gauge is tied onto an existing bell circuit in the school. That's going to be decommissioned no longer because that's what activates that booster panel. I'm just going to be using that 5 conductor from the school. So what I'm going to be doing with that is taking 2 of the wires, making those SLC into the card to monitor the XP6 card, to monitor the conventional portables. That's where SLC will tie on, and then we're going to use the other 2 wires as a new NAC because we're not going to tie onto an existing NAC in the field. We're going to go straight back to the Notifier 640. We could do it without that NAC. We could activate it with the control module off the SLC. However, we wouldn't get sync. We don't need perfect synchronization technically, as it's a different building, but it just sounds nicer and it's right there. We can do it so easily, so we're just going to do it. Got to rip that out, tie the SLC, the new NAC in to set it off, and tie all of our zones into the XP6 card. And that's what I'm going to start doing this morning. So this is where we're at with the system. I actually need to tie, I was also told I need to tie SLC into here. I'm going to jump her off right here, I believe, and go into this. One of these is a dual monitor module. Shut up. That's your normal monitor module. That's your FDM. That's your dual monitor module. So this guy is doing 2 of the crawl space conventional zones. This one's doing 1. Got these relays put in. NAC circuits are tied in. This is definitely getting there. So I got to tie some SLCs into there. Okay, I give up. Okay, so I've got our panel that we're going out there. I'll show you guys more what's going on there with that. Batteries and tools. And yeah, I'm gonna head out there.
That's it. Yeah.
Open it up again? If you can. Yeah, okay.
That's how you do it.
And they ordered the wrong one. We were supposed to have
One?
the 1
Gotcha.
DBC, not the 2.
Gotcha.
That, oh well, it'll still work.
Yeah.
We just need a blank for it. Alrighty, here is our nice mounting job, IT. Good job there. Alright, let's shut her down for the last time. Wish I could have got the 6500 shutting down for last time, but someone else beat me to the job out here. Alright, what panel are you fed from? Probably this guy, FA. Fire alarm 20. Alrighty, let's get to work here. Alrighty, so first thing you want to do when you're ripping out a panel is labeling. Label, label, label. Luckily, this panel is already labeled. This is from the school. So this one right here, this is going to be no longer. Is what they're doing with this panel here is this is our, and good job terminating these guys. I shouldn't be able to pull these out like this. This is our NAC coming from the main building that activates this relay, which is monitored by this module. So that is what activates this building and will give it the main school alarm. And then we also have a knack coming off of it here to go to, I'm not sure where that probably, yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing with that there. But I know it's from the main school. This was tied into a relay, and this was tied into knack 4, which I really don't think it matters to us. However, I'm going to stick a piece of tape on here and label knack 3 actually. Knack 3 mod panel. Not that I think it is going to matter to us. However, I would rather it be labeled. So this BX, I don't know, it's a 4-wire BX, but because I got this red blue, which I know is coming from the school, knack 3 and knack in, which is weird. So they must go up and splice somewhere else. Knack 1 and 2, that's already labeled at the top. So that's all of our knacks. Now we will get our zones disconnected here, which I believe they're already labeled quite well. P1 and P2. So I'm actually going to turn this back on, and properly label this better. So this one here I'm not worried about because this is just monitoring the main building. Let's first look at what this first zone is right here. Okay, this is portable 3. That's P3. You can see our trouble is lit up there for portable 3. This should be portable 4. P4 is probably, who knows actually, that went 3, 4. So this has got to be P2. Which it is, P2. So this one that I just pulled out, I'm going to turn this into SLC. And this here, I'm going to make the knack in on the new panel. Okay, let's shut this panel back down. And we'll take our hot and neutral off. The camera's currently stuck to the panel. I'm going to have to put it somewhere else so we can take this down. 9/16. Yep. Okay, that is the old panel down off the wall. So using these standoffs, there's pieces of 3/4 inch EMT to stand it off the wall. You can see that one was there. So I'll probably use those again. They're already cut. We obviously need them to stand it off from this pipe here and this data. So the new panel is going to be smaller, but I will use those again. I'll just use their same mounting method. It's nice. We have this nice thick 3/4 inch ply to attach it to. Right here. Take the door right off. We don't need that. So these are the knack end of lines, which is good. He bagged those up for me. The tech did. Initiating end of lines, battery connectors, and all that other crap. I'll put that up here. And it doesn't line up exactly the same as the old one. So I'm going to actually just going to put it over this way more. I'm going to bring our power in right here. Now this 1BX, they're all double barrel, so the one from the school is actually shared with what I need from some other ones. I'm just trying to decide what I want to do. If I want 3 knockouts out, take a 12-volt battery here. I don't hear anything on that one. Okay, I hear that one's a knack. That one I can hear in the distance, that's a knack. Okay, I'm gonna keep this double barrel and just enter it in since I know I'm gonna need it. These, I can't figure out what this third knack was doing. I hooked it up, can't figure out anything. I know I don't need this, but instead of taking it all apart, I'll just take out the third knockout there, enter this in. I'll hook this back up to a knack because it was obviously connected to a knack before. So, and this I'll just mark from building disconnected at the bell that it's disconnected at. So we'll pop this third knockout in up. Reason I'm doing this first is then I can slide the BX in more easy before the panel's mounted, and then that can help actually decide our mounting height. I don't want to block access to this junction box. I'd like to keep it closer to where it is. So since the only option to get it over to avoid putting my screws right into this pipe forcing me to go up, don't want to block this, so I'm just going to make some more of my own holes. And the other one was just off like maybe 1/4 inch from this sprinkler line here, which I think is the same. I don't think the door takes up that much room to close. if it's on there like this. Oh yeah, that's fine. So I'll drill some holiosises in here. Big enough for those big lag bolts, I'll just reuse them. Yeah, that size right here should do the job. Alrighty, I've got the new panel mounted, all stood off the wall there, so that's good. It's parallel with that sprinkler pipe, that's good. Alright, we'll tighten up these lock nuts and start tying some stuff in. Okay, I'll explain what we've got going on here. So we're going to make this red-black our SLC in, which will go right onto here. This was just, it was easy to remember once I'm actually in here doing it. And our NAC is going to be this wire here, which is going to tie into right here. Because this is Canada, we have to use this relay to monitor for trouble. So that's why we have, you can see there, if we pull one of these off here, you can see that the inner is our NAC in, or whatever in, and then the outer is the relays. So these are all just different inputs. We're using number 1, and then the outer ones are EOL. So instead of putting the EOL right there, we put the EOL through the trouble relay. So if this goes into trouble, it will open up the NAC, feeding it. So then all of our NACs, like our NACs here, will just tie into these NACs on the panel. 1, 2, 3, 4 NACs there are. I think we'll only be using 3 of those, so I'll have to stick another one of our end of lines on there. And then our zones will tie into zone 1, 2, 3, 4 on this XP6 card. This is an XP6 MAA card. So this is the newer power supply, these newer ones that Notifier has came out with, these PS10C PCAs. These are the newer replacement ones of their older style. So these are what we install now. I think these are a fairly new product still. My first time working on one, at least, actually. They are quite nice though, because they actually light up red on each NAC. There's an LED there. So they will light up different trouble codes for different things. There's all your trouble codes right there. Yeah, anyways, you guys can read through them. There's a ton of dip switches on these panels too. It's like, at what point do you just give it a screen of its own? This will focus here. Yeah, look at all of those dip switches. Each output has its own dip switches, and then just a normal, and then a option for the entire panel. But like, there's a lot of options right there. This is next too. So I just hooked up all 3 of my output NACs up there. This will be the NAC coming in to tell this panel when to start putting out power. This here is my SLC in. We're going to set the address on here now. I know the last pull station I installed in the school, the very last one, was number 11. And then I have a 1 monitor module, which would be number 12, and then a dual. So that's 13, 14. So I think we can set this to 15, module 15. So 1. Okay, I've got all of our zones here and all of our NACs hooked up, SLC, NAC in, and I've labeled this old NAC feed disconnected from main building bell circuit. Hopefully that's somewhat understandable. Writing stuff out is not my strong suit. I'm going to tie all these bonds together and put in our bonds there, batteries, and tie our AC in. I guess this AC will tie right into there, and then these bonds will be separate to there. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Of course, the one size it is the one that doesn't fit that far back. I put my ground coming from the power in on that guy. I'm going to put all our low voltage circuits on this ground here. They are bonded together. These are the same because there is that screw that is bonded from this board here. Okay, I guess just batteries left in this guy here. Borrow the custodian's vacuum here. Alright, let's put our batteries in here. 12 volt, 18 amp hour. Pretty sure that's the biggest that will fit in these. We need to put different ends on the batteries though, as these are not gonna work. How many are you making? 3?
Yeah, 5 for sure.
5. Holy shit. The new ladder we bought for the gym for me, since I didn't want to use that old rickety one. That one looks a lot better. Hey guys, here's what a tripped isolator looks like. It still does blink, but it like strobes really fast. I'm not sure why it's tripped. I just came into school to look for some battery connectors. I've been working out in the portables. Yeah, these ones in this zone are still talking.
I might have screwed it up. in with that heat right there.
And these ones aren't talking.
We
So
pop it off.
this, I traced it through to center block, so.
I'll come back and fix it. Okay, that must have been what I did, but because I didn't see a flash either, but I thought I had it right. But
Oh, up in that one up there?
I might have got it wrong.
Well,
Can you
those,
fit up there, Pete?
Hey?
I think you can fit up there.
Yeah.
so that one in the attic, that's what took out the isolator?
I think so.
Okay.
Metered it, so I'm not sure why I ended up doing that.
I don't know. Okay, finally found some connectors here that'll work on my batteries. They make these super long to go to a cabinet if you're mounting a separate cabinet below. I actually don't like how long this was stripped though, so I'm going to change this one. Okay, I'm going to cut this much shorter. I also need it as a jumper too. Crimp it, and we want to make sure we use the one here that says non. Crimp that down good and solid. Now I'm going to make a jumper to go between the two batteries. Okay, that's our jumper. Now we can put our negative side on. Okay, that is the batteries all wired up. This BX strap I took out of the wall, and then we should be all done as far as this little panel goes. I do have to add one more resistor on this panel though, because I think the technician put in the other resistors and left me to do the install. Since he can't do the install, since he's doing the verification, it has to be a third party. So that's why I'm doing the install, and they'll be the ones technically doing the verification. See, they're allowed to make the program and do the verification, but they're not allowed to do the install and do the verification. They can do sort of one or the other. So you see they got resistors in those NACs there, but I also need to put one in this NAC there. So That is initiating EOLs. This is the NAC EOLs. These are all 4.7K. I will take this guy here, which we have the same colors, gold, red, blue, yellow. So that's also a 4.7. I'm just doubling them up, just like those other resistors, just so they have a little bit more of a contact patch. Try to get that resistor in there. Probably take this guy out here. Okay, there you have it. That's our resistor. We will pop this guy in here. See if our door actually closes here, which, yes, it does. Sweet. Close better once we don't have the batteries in the way, but okay, awesome. So now I need to do some work in these portables. I need to actually change the end of lines on all 4 of these zones. Need the end of lines swapped out. So I need to find the end of line devices for these zones, change them. And same with these bell circuits. I need to change those end of line devices, but I also need to put up new devices while I'm at it. Put the system sensors up. And the bell here is over here. And where the end of line device is, I'm not sure. Found one of our bell circuit end of line devices right here. So this will be one of the bell circuit EOLs. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to change out our horn strobes in here since it has to be done anyways. And I'm going to worry about the end of lines later. If we were to get really lucky, the old panel would use the same value as the new one, but I doubt it. Okay, this is just a single portable, so I'm going to set this one to low volume, temp 3 low. One down, 3 more to go. System sensor bell in here. Put this one temp 3 low volume again. There's no need to have high volume in the portables. You'll still easily get your decibel requirements in these rooms. On low, you can hear my voice echo. They're pretty echoey anyways. Those held on with wood screws before. We're switching those out to proper 832s. At this end of line for the bell here, and there you go, new resistor. I want to look at some things here. I want to see which of the bell circuits have been changed. I'm going to open up these end of line devices here, and then if I can short them, I can find out, I can meter them at the panel and find out what they're the end of the line device of. Start with this one, which is modular main. That'd be nice if they ran all the zones back to here. I've wedged a screw in the top of it, so just maybe I'll be able to see what this one's to. I did find with this one, I got a screw in there. So it looks like that is portable 2. Okay, I've gone ahead and changed all of these guys to the 4.7, so I hope I read something around 4.7 on here now. I'm hoping it was just a case of not very good connection previously. Or sorry, not 4.7. These should be 47 k ohm. We have 43.9, so it's going, yeah, sure, close enough, maybe. No, this ain't right. I'm gonna power up this panel and see what it does. This resistor situation, this seems weird. Either my meter's acting weird or I don't know. Okay, I'll plug your batteries in. The thing that's throwing me off here is this thing looks fairly happy. This red light's on because it's set to put out power constantly to power this card. But we have no yellow lights on the NACs, and to prove that they are monitoring for trouble, if I unplug a NAC, you can hear the trouble relay click, and the trouble light starts coming on the output there. And then I put it back, and it's happy. Maybe the outputs are already the right resistor. I don't even know what the old panel was supposed to be. But as far as these zones, I don't know if it's happy or not. It's not even talking yet, so I'm not sure if it's programmed into the system yet or not. So currently I can't speak for the zones as this card isn't up and running yet. And as far as the NACs, they're happy, but they seem to be the old resistors there. I just metered the one I took out of that one portable that I did change are not the same value as what this panel calls for, though it is still happy. So I guess I should go find them and change them. I'm scrolling through the troubles here for invalid replies. We get up to, not everything is invalid, there's lots that is there. Device 108, 110. K. Trouble pull station. K, we have an invalid reply on that pull station. And then West End crawl, invalid reply 20, which is this device here. 21, which would also be no, which is this one. Okay, that's the dual, so that's 21 and 22. But then we go to my Bell circuits, and then we're back to detectors. So I don't think my thing is not programmed in there yet. As far as modules, all we've got is pull stations and these two modules here, which, speaking of this, I'm supposed to run this. I'll see out from right here in and into the other one. So that's another thing, this project. So what are you doing down here? I think he said he's looking for end-of-line devices. That's actually the hardest part of this project so far, is finding the end-of-line resistors. Right now, the big struggle is to find end-of-line devices. Like looking above, below, sideways, upside down, inside out. Cannot find the EOLs. Jesus. We're at the point now of trying to find as-builts for this school, but it's so old, there's probably no as-builts left. We found one here in this mechanical room, possibly, because these will need to get changed to the end of line that the monitor modules take. Metered it the other end, I just put her to shorted her out, and meter was beeping on, off and on when I did it, so yeah, that's the right one. So chuck a resistor plate on, since these are soldered right on, you can't take them off. Okay, I've got this new end-of-line plate installed. There's just one more end-of-line device, because that's 2 out of the 3 end-of-line plates on. We gotta find one more. Just hooked up these guys to the SLC now, over into there. Alrighty guys, well, that's where we're ending this video, though as you would see, the work's not over. This is kind of a problem as we need this system to be verified on Tuesday, because there is no Monday. It's a holiday for something. I can't remember what the holiday is. There's too many holidays. I can't keep track of them. Monday's a holiday for something. And personally, I wish we could have stayed and done overtime today to get it done with, but it's Friday of a long week and nobody probably really wants to do that. And other than that, I think pretty much all the devices are in place, but EOL, end of line resistor. My whole portable situation, I don't know if it's good because the Zone card XP6 MAA is not powered up right now, or at least it might be powered, but it's not talking to the SLC, to the panel yet. So I'm not sure if that's trouble-free, or if I need to change those resistors. The bell circuits are happy, even though they really shouldn't be, because the resistors are of a much higher value, which I don't like doing that because sometimes they can mislead you into thinking they won't be problematic, where you can install a resistor with an actual higher resistance than what the panel calls for, and it will be fine, but sometimes it'll be fine forever. But then sometimes it'll get really cold outside in the winter, and that resistor value actually changes on heat, depending on the temperature by a small amount. And then all of a sudden it'll go into trouble. Or if it's a zone, maybe it'll go into alarm. It'll go past that threshold. So I really don't like doing that with resistors, with going like, hey, it's working, let's just leave it. I'm not a fan of that. I'd like to get that resistor situation figured out. Also, the school is kind of the same thing with our resistors on the monitor modules. Need to get changed, where I changed one, and I think one did get changed, but we're missing one still. And I connected the monitor modules to the SLC finally, and they're happy. The system didn't go into alarm from the resistor value being too high. But again, I don't trust it. I'd still like to find those resistors. So basically, we have a lot of resistor finding to do, and there might be a few detectors that, other than the gym ones, that have to go up. But I know my coworker cut access holes into the ceiling, and we got all of the detectors put up in the hallway. Annunciator is in place, and we just have to make some sort of custom thing around it. And I'm trying to think of what else needs to happen. I think we're looking pretty good, but there's probably a few hours of work still. I think if we had a few hours, we could get it done, but I'm not sure if they'd approve us to come in and start early Tuesday morning, so that may or may not happen. But I bet this video is getting to a good length, so I think I'll end this one here. So I'm not sure what the next video is going to be at this point, if it's going to be just verification, or if I'll show the work leading up to it, what we have to do that morning. I know this video today I wasn't able to film everything, because again, it's starting to get kind of rushed, and we're not really done in time like we're supposed to be for Tuesday. What can you do? I'm here now. It is what it is. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you do have any comments or questions, feel free to put those in the comment section. And if you do enjoy my channel and my videos, make sure to subscribe. That would help me out. And guys, if you are interested, I do have an Instagram account at Pickle700 for bonus content and content posted earlier than you'd see it on the YouTube channel, that sort of thing. Anyways, guys, that's all I got. Thanks for watching.